What is security testing? The idea is simple. We are checking the application's security. Security, what it means as a software application is anyone who is able to access any information within our software which we don't provide permission to. It's simple. It's simply like, how do you check a security of a house? You would be checking the windows, you would be checking the fire extinguisher, you would be checking the locks, you would be checking the doors, windows, the doors of windows. So all these areas to identify no unauthorized person entering our system and accessing what we have inside the software. That is the idea of security testing. In terms of the examples or types of security testing, in general, there is only one security. You just check everything for vulnerabilities, how you access the unauthorized information. That is the idea of security testing. So the types of security testing, you can do it in multiple ways. Similar to functional and performance testing, we can do different type of performance, we can do different type of functionality testing. We have a lot of videos around it. The similar way, security can be checked in multiple ways. One of the thing is pretty much vulnerability scan and security scanning. So what is the difference between vulnerability scanning and security scanning? Vulnerability scanning mostly focusing on what are all the potential leakages, memory leakage or information leakage this can happen. Say for example, how do you, if you are sharing, let's say in a web application, if I'm going to Google Chrome and go to the dev tabs, can I access some of these API keys or some secure information is available in a dev tool? That's one example of vulnerability. It's not the only case, but it's one example of that. And we have XSS scripting. So you have an input box, you just store the data as it gives, and if you are sending the data directly without any process, you send it to database, there is a possibility that someone can send you, let's say someone can send you a SQL query to copy all this data to somewhere else or delete some data what you don't want to. That we can do. And that we can do by sending an input information into an input field. In the similar way, imagine you have a file upload option, and I have, and if imagine if it is a PDF, right? So you upload a PDF file and you try to read the file, and the server also execute the PDF file. Instead of uploading a PDF file, what if I upload a script, a simple bash script which will be executable on the server? You store it as is and then you run it. That might crash your system. That's a potential example of vulnerability. So how do we scan? There are a lot of tools in the market. Maybe in the future videos we will be talking about some of the security testing tools and options. We can talk about it. But there are a lot of tools which will automatically scan even for your code. Say for example, you are using a library, you are building a website in JavaScript, Next.js or something, and some of these functionalities you don't have to build everything yourself. You are downloading a library from some online sources, and that library do the process for you. But what if that library is hackable? What if that library is not storing it properly? So those kind of static code analysis can be done by a lot of tools. That is what we do. Vulnerability scanning and security scanning, we do these situations to figure out. And security scanning, in a way, it also checks some of the security scanning tools will also check your infrastructure for, can I access it without the proper permissions? Can I access this file location server without proper accessing? If I log into one place, can I access someone else's data? So all these things can be automatically done by some of these scanning tools. In addition, the idea of penetration testing is intentionally doing it on your service. So the vulnerability and security scanning tools will look for static code, potential known issues, existing issues, that will scan your system for that. Penetration testing is try to simulate a bad actor, and you try to hit your service with the vulnerability problem which you experienced in some other applications. When you do that, the system shouldn't accept. The system should show the error. Even if I'm sending an SQL script, it should be converted into a JSON string or some serialized data and store it in the right places. If I'm sending if I'm uploading a file, it should only accept that specific kind of file, not any different type of file. So there are multiple ways we can do this penetration testing. That is what we are trying to do. And risk assessment is pretty much simple. What are the areas consumer cannot access, and what are the risky areas the consumer need to be, some of the data need to be public for everyone, some of the data is hidden by not for everyone but only for admins. So all these risk area identification is risk assessment, and security auditing is pretty much doing a big checklist of things, how it works and how do we identify these things. So this is the whole idea of security testing. We might go deeper in future videos, but this is the core idea of what is security testing and what are the usual things we do in security testing.